everyone? Daniel Kerr here. So today I'm going to be talking about doing some sound design with some drums, and then I'm going to be doing a similar sound design video next that's going to deal with synths. Right now what I'm going to be showing you is something that I don't think many users, I've kind of developed this on my own. I don't think many people, even decade-long users, have used this technique before. And so I'm going to show it to you, and I hope you find it very helpful. It's going to start off basically with kind of the Ilgate style drum rack, right? And then it's going to be using some of the native Max for Live devices that come with Ableton Suite. And the results are staggering. You're going to love it, right? Before we get into that, go to ghostwrittenclips.com if you want to grab the... lots of noise, sorry. If you want to grab the July Mega Pack, which I have up for sale right now, or any of my other resources. I use a lot of the resources in this video, and this project file will be available along with these breaks that we're going to make. It will be available in the August Mega Pack that's coming up. So anyway, subscribe, like, love you guys. Let's get into it. So this technique was not exactly, the first part of this technique was, I kind of got it from Ilgate. What you want to do is take a drum rack and drag it to a MIDI track, and these cells, instead of populating them with drum sounds, you want to populate them with samplers. And these samplers, see it says drop sample here, you're going to drag your drums over. So right now this is going to be for the kick drums, and you'll see many people have made drum racks like this. We're going to open up some Vengeance samples, going to open up some kick drums. We're going to grab all these and we're going to pull these over. And once we get in there, you'll see it says 11 of 11 samples are available. You can add 128 samples per. I'm going to open this up here, and you'll see over here it says select. I'm going to click on that, and what this is, this field determines which drum hit, which sample is going to fire. We're going to right click and hit distribute ranges evenly, and you can see that now they're not going to be firing at once at all. This piece at the top here, the blue line, it moves across and it determines which of these samples is going to fire when you hit that C1 note, okay? We're going to right click this and we're going to map that to macro 1. Now listen, now you can choose which drum sound you want to use. So we're going to duplicate this for snares. We're going to drag a sampler down to C sharp, and that's going to be claps actually. And then we're going to bring one down for snares, and then we'll bring another one down for closed hats, and then we'll bring one down for open hi-hats, right? So let's go to this claps one here and open it up. Go back to our samples. Excuse me. I'm going to select a bunch of claps. Like I said, you can do 128 per. Open up the zone, hit select, right click, distribute ranges evenly, right click at the top and map to macro 2. So now we have a separate macro. 3 is for snares. We're going to open up some snares, drag some snares in, do the same exact thing. Drag, zone, select, right click, distribute ranges, go to the top to the selector, right click and map to macro 3, right? Next is, yep, sounds good. Next is closed hi-hats. Go to cymbals, crack this open, drag some in, select, right click, distribute ranges, right click at the top, map to macro 4. And last but not least, open hi-hats, right? Make sure you have that sampler selected. The next one, you don't want to overwrite the samples you just did. Drop it in, distribute ranges, and map the selector to a macro. All right, now here's the thing. Let's listen to these. Okay, they're short, so I want to go to where the filter is here in the envelope, and I'm going to set the release a little higher so that the entire sample. Then right click that and go copy to siblings. Okay, now listen. Long, that's good. Now, this is all fine and good. Nice. We set up a very, very distinctive drum rack with lots and lots of possibilities. And now we're going to do something pretty amazing. Let's make a beat real quick. Okay, let's add a clap. Oops. Here we go. And some hats. Let's add a little variation here. Little fill here, little roll. Let's go back to the rack and let's move these around a little. Okay, so this is similar to what lots of people have done. All kinds of possibilities. We're going to go to Max Devices. And we're going to bring down a device randomizer. Watch this. This is the groundbreaking part. Many people have not known about this. Let's map this to our device. Oh, now listen to that. Hit this little blue dot, open up Edit. We're going to change this to timed or synced. Make it to change every 1 bar and turn the smoothing off. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. So every bar, these samples randomly change. Okay? Let's do the same thing with an effects rack. Okay? So let's pull an effects rack down. Let's crack it open. Let's drag amp first. Get some distortion in there. Some of these I like more than others. Put it on lead. That sounds good. Pull the wet and dry down. I'm going to bring the volume down in this because we're adding a whole bunch. I'm going to duplicate this. You can hit Control D or just duplicate. And I'm going to use Hot Swap and change this to Auto Filter. Alright. And then I'm going to duplicate that one. And Hot Swap again. And this time, after filter, maybe Flange. Alright, and duplicate this again, and we'll hot swap that out and add a reverb. Oh, I just dragged that reverb down instead of using hot swap. Let me just delete one of these flangers. Okay, so now, just like I did before, I'm going to take some of the important parameters, and I'm going to start mapping them to macros. So we got dry, wet, and I'm going to map size and density. All right, I'm going to map those to macros. Change this to high quality. Okay, go to the next one up. For the flanger, I'll do dry, wet. And map that to a macro, and we'll do delay time. I think that's really important. I think I'm going to increase the feedback up just a tad. Then we'll go up to the one above. Filter. We're going to do filter type. I think that's important. And we're going to do the frequency, of course. And I think the last one we'll do is dry, wet on the amp. Okay? Now, let's close these devices. Let's drag another device randomizer down. And let's map this to here. Okay. Now, let's change the timing on this again. Hit that little blue dot to edit. Change it to sync. Now, if you notice, the dry wets are not being modulated by the device randomizer. In 9, they did work, and in 10, they don't. I don't know why. So I'm going to use some LFO tools. All right. At this point, because I'm screencasting, it's going to stress out my CPU. I hope I can continue this video, but you can see what I'm doing right now. Actually, it's already starting to glitch, but I'm going to add 3 LFO tools, and I'm going to set them to sample and hold like a random wave instead of sine wave, and I'm going to map them to the 3 dry wet signals over here in the rack. Okay? Oh boy. Actually, look at my CPU meter up in the corner. Oh boy. Okay, well anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag in. Oh man, it's lagging. Super lagging. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to drag one of these audio channels up at the top, and I'm going to set it to resample. I'm actually going to set it to get, you can see it now. I'm setting it to get audio from channel 1, and I'm arming it for recording, and I'm just going to start resampling tons of breaks off of this, okay? Can you see it? Oh, there's one. Anyway, you can't see what I'm doing, but the audio still sounds pretty good. You can kind of see I'm recording clips of these. Alright, I'm back. So now we're listening to the samples that I took off of that rack, and I deleted that rack so that it's not stressing out the CPU anymore. Right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my samples, and I'm going to go to the July mega pack that I have up for sale right now. You can get it at ghostwrittenclips.com. But anyway, I'm going to get into my waves. And I'm going to grab a few things. Oh, yeah, in 5 Tricks Trap, I've got some processed trap loops. We're going to try these out. They sound good, but they're using some of the same techniques that I'm showing you, so I don't want too much of that reverb and stuff. I'm still going to pull them in here. Let's listen. Listen together. They sound pretty good together. I wish they were a little cleaner. Let me find some more. These breaks, they sound pretty good. You know what, though? Let's check them out. Yeah, they're too fast. These are mono breaks that were meant to go into the ESX and be pitched down an octave. So they're too fast. Yeah, they sound all stretchy. Well, let's not use these. I'll leave them there, but I got rid of them. You guys can't hear me auditioning things. I can hear it, but you can't hear it because it's not rendered into the into the recording. Alright, a couple more original breaks that I used for another sample pack. We'll bring these over. These are very, very sparse. Listen. Okay, now listen together with the new ones. I'm going to grab all these. I'm going to go to the launch menu. You can see I have them all selected. I'm going to go to Legato. And every bar, I'm going to set the follow action to any, so it becomes random playback. That's too many. I'm going to stop this track. Okay, now hear that? I'm going to resample some of this, actually. It's already set for resampling, so I'm going to arm this for recording and grab a clip of this just playing. And I'm going to come over here and mess with some of these. Sounds good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a copy of this one. And I'm going to pitch this one way up. Cool. I'm going to make a copy of this one and do the same thing. Pitch it way up. Alright, we're getting lots of very, very weird, randomized, glitchy, not really prefabricated material here, right? And I'm going to change the color of that so I can remember which one it is. Everybody be blessed. I hope you find this, yeah, we're listening to it now. And there's a whole bunch in there, right? Hope everybody is having a good summer so far, and I hope you find this very, very useful, this tutorial. I love you guys, and I'll be back with some more content. I'm going to be uploading content every other day or so. So, yeah, go to ghostwrittenclips.com and purchase the July Mega Pack. It's well worth it. It has lots and lots of material in there. Tons and tons of samples, and including WAV files, lots of ESX sets. I think there's 18 ESX sets in there. There's patterns in there. There's a few Ableton project files. It's pretty amazing. And August is going to be just as good, if not better, when it comes out. And when the August one is released, the July one goes away, right? So this is a chance to get some exclusive content, and not that many people have picked up the pack so far. So you're gonna have a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't have, right? Anyway, everybody, yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back and talking to you again. Be blessed.